sometimes that is better.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Killjoy Jake YouTube channel. I've been on break for a week. I'm so excited to talk with all of y'all. I missed ya. I missed all of y'all. Everyone, every single one of you, and I can see every single one through the camera. I can! Louis Tango is saying, let's hope it's not the final one for talking about Scream 7. I hope that the killer gets away at the end of this one to lead up to the next one. They never done that before. I agree, Louis. I want to see something like that, though. I want to see them try something ambitious. I don't want another Scream 2. Scream 6 is kind of already that. I want to sink my teeth into something that I just haven't before. I've had the bread, I've had the soup, I've had the salad. Now I want, and the entree, now I want the dessert, you know? I don't want another fucking entree. I'm stuffed at this point. Wrestling God is saying, I don't think this is the end of the Scream franchise. Jake, I think we will get Scream 8 next year. I hope so. That would be great. But it seems like we're only doing like 3 of these bad boys at a time. I will say there are factors in this next film that could indicate something like that. I mean, let's say Scream 7 makes like $200 million. Then we're on a crazy uptick from 140 million, 169 million Scream 6 made. Let's say 180 million, you know, this next one makes. Okay, well, yeah, then maybe Scream 8 will happen. But I think if it goes down or stays about the same, probably won't see a Scream 8 for a little while. I hope we get a Scream 8. That would be really cool. Jason Carpenter has been a member for 9 months. You could have a baby in that time, Jason. Saying, Jake, I'm on vacation, drinking wine and watching Halloween Kills. That's a vibe, dude. I did that like a couple of days ago. That's fantastic. I'm so happy. I hope you're enjoying your vacation and especially enjoying that wine with some Halloween Kills. It's a good mix, my dude. Jason Carpenter's throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much, Jason. Saying, hell yeah, Jake. I'm in San Antonio, Texas. Nice. Okay. What's there to do in San Antonio? I guess what's there to do there? Drink some wine and watch Halloween Kills. Tanya Holt is saying, I'm truly concerned about the next Scream. I am too. I feel like they need to bring something never done before. We need to see Sydney, Mark, and the kids finally, instead of just hearing about them. I feel like they set that up in Scream 5 to go somewhere with that. I don't know if they necessarily, like, it was in your face, like, this is going somewhere. It's not like a Marvel movie, you know, where it's like, oh, we're here, post-credits scene that sets up the next thing. I look at Scream 5 again after rewatching it, and I notice how the introduction for all the legacy characters introduces a new facet to all of them. Dewey, for instance, is a retired cop living in a trailer park. You can get pretty much all of that from his first scene. You can get everything you need to know about Sidney Prescott in that first scene. And Gale Weathers on the morning show. It all kind of happens back to back to back. It's really fast. We kind of made a whole movie in Scream 6 surrounding this idea of Gale Weathers in New York City. I think you can kind of look at that whole film as that being the seed and then something built around it with the entire core 4 being the focus, you know, and a lot more things around that. Why not do the same thing for Sidney Prescott and her family, which has also been set up for the 7th film? If 5 was Dewey's movie, 6 was kind of Gale's movie, arguably, and then 7 being Sidney's movie, that would make sense. So I'd be down. I'd be down for a Sydney's family-focused Scream, as long as they do something like what Tanya's talking about here, where they do something we've never seen before with the killer. That would be fun. Because you're hitting on something familiar, but you're also hitting on something fresh, too. You can't just be like, yeah, let's rest on our laurels and do exactly everything we've already done before in the past. That would suck. And especially if Sydney's going to be the focus, you gotta give me a reason for why, man. Because we have seen a lot of killers go after Sidney Prescott. I want to see something fresh. I want to see a new kind of killer going after Sydney and her family. Make the family be part of the reason the killer wants to go after her. Don't make the motive be, oh man, my family got ruined somehow, because that's like the majority of the Scream killers. Please don't do that. Lightning Ghost is throwing $5 out there. Saw It's a Wonderful Knife last night, and it was pretty fun. Heavily Scream vibes, dope kills, but the twist was okay. Wish Justin Long was in it a bit more. 7 out of 10. Very nice. I'm going to be watching it as soon as possible because there was like not a whole lot of showings around me. I was like, damn. I'm excited to see that one though. I'm hearing, like I said, I'm hearing things on both sides, and I think that's so interesting. I love when a movie gets mixed reviews. That means it's saying something. That means it's saying something that is pushing some boundaries or does something that a certain group may not like or for whatever reason. I like that. I like movies that push boundaries. So I'm very excited to see what this one's all about. Devon S is saying, we should have multiple active ghost faces. Give us some real Scream 2 mixed with 4 edge of the seat, good music score this go around. Tie up all loose ends, whatever they could be. Give us a cliffhanger. See, I was down for the cliffhanger from Scream 6 because I knew Scream 7 was going to happen. If we were to do a cliffhanger from 6 to 7, that would have been fun. But I don't know if we're going to get a Scream 8, you know? Like, what if we get a cliffhanger and then they don't do another one? And the only reason I say that, too, is because the majority of these requels, which VHS is currently breaking that at the moment, so keep that in mind. The majority of, like, these new requel movies are just doing 3 of them. That's it. We're doing 3, then we're done, and then, I don't know, maybe we'll do some more in the future. But as of right now, we're just doing trilogies. So that has me worried about like what is next to come from this franchise. Is this going to be it for a little while? I'm totally down for a cliffhanger as long as we get confirmation that there's more to come. Anthony from Child of the Corn is here, throwing $2 out there. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Saying, going to It's a Wonderful Knife tonight. Nice. Jake plays Ghostface in Scream 7. God, I wish. Somebody called Christopher Landon. Bluck is saying you should check out the new Ryan Gosling trailer, The Fall Guy. Is it like a Fall Guys animated movie based on the video game starring Ryan Gosling? That would be awesome. Perry Moberg's throwing $5 out there. Thank you for the support, my friend. I really appreciate you. Saying, do you think a Creep 3 will ever happen? Recently watched the first one again. So good. They were kind of talking about, they had this idea that they were tossing around in like 2020 about a Creep 3, and then, 2020 fucking happened. And also I think they were saying something about the script not necessarily being where they wanted it to be, but a Creep 3, they have ideas for it. There's ideas being pitched back and forth about it. So I imagine that we will get this at some point, especially with horror being on this upswing right now. Everything's getting a sequel. Doesn't matter what it is. It's getting a sequel. Oh, Pumpkinhead? Yeah, we're doing a new one of those. Salem's Lot, a movie that most people probably haven't seen. We're doing another one. Fuck it. I'm very excited that all these weird fucking movies are getting continuations. Like Orphan? Who expected the Orphan prequel to be good? It was actually really fun. I was like, damn, this was a blast. I'm so happy this exists. That's What She Said has been a member for 2 months and wanted to say something so important to get out there to the public. Boobies. Child of the Corn, Anthony, throwing $5 out there. Thank you, man. Do you see the Thanksgiving slasher to rival a character like Art the Clown, or much more of an urban legend, or I Know What You Did Last Summer type of slasher with one sequel? Ooh, that is a really good question. I think it's all going to come down to, is this going to be just a regular slasher with a bunch of brutal kills, or is it going to be something like Art the Clown, who has so much personality? That's the big difference between something like The Mutilator, for instance. Like that's fucking brutal, and it's a really fun movie, but I would never say the killer from The Mutilator is like iconic. It really depends on who it is, because it is going to be kind of a murder mystery. It depends on who it is, and it depends on if they have a lot of personality in the character. You can have a slasher character that gets these amazing kills and has an amazing movie that's a part of it, but you might not have that iconic essence that like sticks in people's minds, like how Art the Clown has. He has a striking image. Typically when you think of a clown, you think of the red nose and the red lipstick and all that. No, Art the Clown is monochromatic. Same thing with this Thanksgiving killer. Like, I think he has an iconic look for the most part. The Pilgrim and all that. I can't think of too many other Pilgrim slashers. I also think that you kind of need a franchise to be like an iconic character. The Nightmare movies, they're not very good, in my opinion. Some of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies are kind of hard to sit through, but what's great about them, in every single one, is Robert Englund's performance as Freddy Krueger. It's like, it's always a standout. It's always like, this is so exciting. When he's on screen, it's good. And I think that's part of the reason why when you see the burnt guy with the hat and the sweater, you think Freddy Krueger. This because that's always the best part of those movies, is when he comes on screen and starts doing some crazy shit. If Thanksgiving is going to be that, it needs to not only be a franchise, but it also needs that personality about its slasher that some slashers just don't have. Night Owl 30 is saying, I don't care if I know Sydney will survive because she earned it. I watched Scream to see Sydney kick some Ghostface ass. She's like a superhero. But isn't that why we don't like Marvel movies anymore, is because nothing happens in those movies? It's just good guy beats bad guy. Sydney's awesome and she deserves a happy ending. I don't think she should die, but if Scream just turns into Sydney beats a ghost face every single time, that's just going to be really boring to me. Scream is not about a guy putting on a ghost face mask and killing people. It's also about, horror commentary. It's about pushing boundaries, which I think most of the movies in this franchise do pretty well.